Cube want to do another one because Cube, of course, it's like, he kind of created Fridays, and I was in the first one. Yeah. And Cube, after I did the first Fridays back then, I never thought about doing sequels. I always wanted to do a good job and keep moving to the next movie. So Cube asked me back in, I think it was 96 or 97. He's Chris, we want to do another Fridays, man. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to do another Fridays. I want to do like Eddie Murphy and them did. I want to do Money Talks. I did Money Talks, and then eventually did Rush Hour. I said, I don't want to do another. And he said, what? You sure? I was like, nah, I don't want to do another. So he couldn't believe it, but he kept moving, and he got Mike Epps, and they went and did another one, and it was great. He did two of them, and they were great. So now, of course, they was in Cube. He don't mind if I come back at this, that. But the studio, I think, want to do it. They didn't want to do it, and then Cube is spearheading that. And I never really wanted to do another one. And I always said, because I know my fans love the movie so much, they always bring it up. I said, well, if they come to me with a great script, great idea, I'll definitely consider it. But I said, it's been so long ago, and that character became such a great character. I don't want to mess it up unless it's really something good and we can really make it better,
Yep, I got it on my shirt.
Oh, thank you. I saw that. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
You could mess it up now. I heard through the grapevine now, correct me if I'm wrong, that the reason why you wasn't going to do another Friday was because they didn't pay you, man. Now,
oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. And I'm going to tell you, the first Fridays, I was so happy I got that movie because I knew how it was going to help my career, because all I was doing then before that was touring to state to state, and I was going back to state, but I wanted to go to the next level. So I said, I need a TV show or a movie, and I got Fridays, and I was like, oh, thank God, because I know this is going to bring me a bigger audience, then I can show another side of me. So when I did it, it was incredible. But back then, I got to tell you, one of the reasons why I didn't do the second one because of the weed. Because I said, man, that movie became a phenomenon. I don't want everybody smoking weed. And I never really told people this because I kind of forgot about it. But it was one of the reasons why I didn't do it, because I said, I don't want to represent, everybody smoking weed. I kind of made it more personal than a movie. And that's one of the reasons why I said, nah, I didn't want to keep doing that character. Okay. And it probably was good for me because it kept me moving, to the next phase and next movies. But that was one of the reasons. I said I didn't want to be the get everybody smoking weed high in the world. So.
Now, I just want to ask real quick. So, like, when you say a great script for Friday, because most those movies are really like powered by the two leads, with you and Icecube, and then he went and got Mike Epps. So, like, what does like a great Friday script act like? What is it like? What would you say would be like the great or the best Friday script or something like that for you?
That's a great question, because you even made me think about it. It would be more like a great idea. Like this idea, this is the next level of where these characters will be at and go, that it'll make sense to the audience, makes sense to everybody, makes sense to the story out of all those movies. They had one in between.
Yeah.
They had two. So three movies. So where will we be and what's going to be going on? It just can't be like jokes.
It has to be a logical, I got you.
Those are the movies that last, if you do sequels, because they're hard to do, but if you do that, you got to really think it out and then make it make sense. So those are the things. And then once you get those things together, the elements together, then you can come up with a kind of the dialogue and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me this now. You've worked with people like Charlie Sheen when you did Money Talk.
Yes.
What was that like, working with somebody of that caliber, that kind of?
He was great, man. I was just telling somebody yesterday, and Charlie Sheen and Paul Savino, great actors, because I did a lot of improvisation in Fridays and Money Talks and all my movies, because I try to put a lot of myself real. I try to make the character real as I can do. So soon as when I get into that Charlie Sheen, they will come right back with their acting skills, man. And I believe so hard that you got to work with other great actors, because when you giving out, they're gonna give back and even make you go deeper. So it was so great working with Charlie Sheen, because he's such a great actor. and you see that in 2.5 Men and all the movies he's done before that, Wall Street, and Paul Sorvino, you know, all his movies from Goodfellas on. Those guys, they don't miss a beat because they listen to every word you're saying, and they are coming right back at you in that world you're at, and they're really in the character, man. So yeah, that's a great question, man.
So you had prime Charlie Sheen, like you were like superstar Charlie Sheen. Like,
yeah.
was he wilding like that? How he wilds now?
Charlie was the nicest guy in the world, man. I gotta tell you right there, he had his little moments here and there, but he was still a great guy. And you've been around people. He let me borrow his Ferrari, man, when I was like 21 years old, because I was bold enough to ask him, Charlie, let me keep your Ferrari for a weekend. He said, sure, I'll have my assistant drop it off at your apartment. I'm staying almost in the hood in Koreatown. I got a $100,000 Ferrari parked out in the front of my apartment because I'm still asleep. I didn't put it in the parking structure yet. And everybody's like, what? This is Charlie Sheen. That's how nice of a guy he is and was back then, man. So I would always, you know, have a lot of love for Charlie because how well he treated me. And he's still, to me, just the biggest